So Wargroove 2 has been announced back in early March and it is currently in development. And this is a video I've been meaning to make for a while now, but I unfortunately had to put this video in my back catalog of videos to make because there's been a lot of stuff going on with Activision and Call of Duty and Supercell with Clash Royale and just a couple other videos I've been working on for quite some time now, and unfortunately, those were taking up my uploading schedule. And I kind of wanted to try to take a little bit of a break in August, but like I said before, there's no rest for the weary, I guess, at this point. But with Wargroove 2 being announced and in development, I gotta be honest, I'm actually pretty excited, and I'm actually kind of excited to see this game come out soon. They didn't give an exact release time, so we don't know when exactly. We just got an announcement trailer, but I will, of course, keep a close eye for if or when the game does eventually come out. And I do want to actually make a review for that game at some point in the future, but I'll save that for when the game gets released and everything. But as of now, I'm actually really excited for this game to come out because if for those of you who weren't really paying too much close of attention to the game industry, there's been a lot of games that have been coming out, and a good portion of them just either came out mediocre or unfinished or just filled to the brim with microtransactions, or some of them just come out completely just broken and unplayable. And of course, we got other smaller studios or like indie developers that have to take up the mantle and just work their butts off to get games that they're actually passionate about and games that they actually want people to enjoy. And they want these games to come out and actually show people, like, what good video games are supposed to be. And Chucklefish is one of those smaller studios. And I gotta be honest, man, like I said already, I'm excited for Wargroove 2 to come out, but I'm also a bit worried as well from what we've seen in the trailer. Now, of course, I do want to show you all some screenshots that I personally think are interesting and important in this trailer as well, considering that we got like a new character or a new story, and it's going to be a new game as well. But I still want to show you some of the important stuff as well. So I'm going to show you all the screenshots of some of the things that I think are important for Wargroove 2, and of course I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this as we go along. So obviously we have a new commander here, and it looks like he's a part of some new faction, and that's going to be like pirate themed, and he goes by the name of Nadia, and he's wielding some kind of flamethrower, which I think is pretty cool. And if we look at the map here, it looks pretty pirate themed, which is what the whole game theme is pretty much going to be surrounded about. And it looks like Nadia is using some new groove ability, which looks like it damages nearby enemies. And then we got some new units as well here. It looks like the Kraken attacking some of the archers that are on the board walk, which is pretty cool. And then we got other funny units as well, like this knight riding some kind of flamingo. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to this trailer than meets the eye, but keep in mind, I still wanted to showcase some of the important parts of this game as well. We got new units, like a new scouting unit, we got a new sea unit, a new commander, and of course, there is going to be a new story involved as well. But I gotta say, man, from what they've shown in the trailer, and of course, if you want to see it for yourself, I will leave a link in the description down below so you can all check out the trailer for yourself. Now, you're probably also going to be wondering, well, Nightwing, what about some of the other characters, like Ragna, or like Gr- Greenfinger, or what about commanders like Ryota or Emmerich? Right? Surely they're going to be a part of this game as well. Honestly, I would assume that they would also be a part of this game as well, because if you think about it, I believe personally that they still all hold a very important role to Wargroove as well, and I would assume Chucklefish would keep them in Wargroove 2 as well. I don't believe that Chucklefish would forget about these characters and just abandon them. I would not think they would be dumb enough to do something like that, because if you think about it, they are all realistically important to the game as well, especially considering the story and the lore, I guess, considering of how important these characters are as well. And of course, there's going to be other things as well, like what about an arcade mode, or what about the creative mode that everybody loves, like the custom content page where you can share and create your maps with other people, and you can play them with other people in couch co-op or online co-op or versus. I would assume that that would be the case as well, because again, I don't think Chucklefish would be stupid enough to just forget about these features, because most of these characters and features, like a custom content creator, like a map creator, and like a custom campaign creator, and all these other characters, I wouldn't think that Chucklefish would just forget about these as well, because they are all realistically important to the game as well. And if this was not in Wargroove 1, then I'm pretty sure it would be a completely different game in a different scenario. So, again, personally, I think all this stuff is really awesome as well. But my biggest worry, or my two biggest worries, is the fact that just feels like an expansion to the first game. Because in the screenshots that I already showed you folks, like I showed you that we're getting a new C unit, which is a Kraken, we're getting a new some kind of scouting unit, or like a cavalry unit, which is like the knight riding a flamingo or some kind of ostrich, which again I think is very funny. And we're getting a new commander, and I feel like with all these changes or all of these new things, I feel like this could just be easily added on as like DLC for the first Wargroove. You know what I'm saying? What changes like this that are very noticeable, I feel like this could just easily be DLC for like the first Wargroove in a way. But if they're trying to make it like a completely different game with like some new features and some new way to play the game, then I guess I could understand that from a developer perspective, but I still feel like it's worth just calling these things out and just talking about them anyway, because I feel like, again, this is all just stuff that could easily go into the first game. But with that being said, the second biggest worry I also have is, will there be a physical copy of this game, or is it just going to be digital only? Now, the first Wargroove obviously is digital only. I think the only time that they were trying to do something physical was, I guess, having a some kind of collector's edition, I guess, where you get the game and you get some stickers in like a collector's box or something like that, which I guess is kind of nice. But realistically, like, will the game aim be digital only or physical? Because I think a good portion of people, including myself, would rather have the game physically rather than digitally. The only time I think I get a game digitally is if I cannot get my hands on a physical copy of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have absolute trouble finding a physical copy of it and I just can't get it, then maybe I'll just get the game digitally if I absolutely have to. But realistically, if we could get a physical copy of this game, of Wargroove 2, I think that would be absolutely amazing. And I would definitely give out $20 or like $30 to Chucklefish saying, "Here, take my money. Please give me the physical copy, and I will gladly play your game." No, but on a serious note, I think it would be worth noting that if they give us a physical copy of Wargroove 2, that would be very important, and I would be very thankful if they did that. But if it's going to be digital only, then I could see some problems with that, because if, God forbid, what happens if the Nintendo servers go down and you can't be able to access your games digitally? But then again, I'm probably just overthinking the digital distribution, but that's just another worry I have. But then again, only time will tell, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how Chucklefish handles this. I would be very thankful if they actually did release a physical copy of this game, and then I would gladly spend money on this physical copy. But if they release it digital only again, then I think that would actually suck. But then again, that would be all up to Chucklefish. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how Chucklefish continues to handle this development of Wargroove 2. Personally, I am excited for this game to come out. I legitimately enjoy the first Wargroove, and I can't wait to play the second one, but I'm also got my worries as well, so of course, I will continue to keep a close eye on this game as well and how Chucklefish handles this development. So, with that being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about Wargroove 2, and I'll see you all later.